guys, what's up? Thank you so much for tuning in today. As promised, I did a community poll the other day on which video you guys wanted to see, and pretty much half of you ended up voting for the past life reading. So as promised, here it is. So we're gonna be jumping right into that video today. If you're not already subscribed and you weren't able to see that poll, make sure to turn on that bell so you can get notifications when I post. I'm looking to be a lot more interactive with you guys, and I have a couple of exciting videos planned for us this week, so keep an eye on that. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button and turn on that bell. Okay, join the family here at Lunar Goddess Readings. We have 4 piles here today for our past life reading video. I wanted to do 4 instead of 3. I kind of alternate back and forth between those 2 numbers for piles, but I felt that having 4 piles would be a lot more likely to resonate with you guys because there's so many of you, and I want to make sure that you guys get a message from your past life and you guys are able to tap into something that resonates with you. So if you would like to use crystals to choose, we have this one on pile number 1. I cannot remember what it is called. So if you guys know, if you guys recognize this guy, leave it down in the comments because I can't remember. On pile number 2, we have a piece of carnelian. Okay. Pile number 3. I can't remember what this is too. I think it's like agate or agate, or it might be lapis lazuli. I'm not sure. I'm the worst, guys. So, and then this is pile number 4. It's just a piece of tiger's eye. So, yeah, I'll give you guys just a second to tune in to the piles. Take a deep breath. I want you guys to put yourself in the state of just asking yourself, what your past life was, you might have had more than one past life, but if you might have any memories of one or any feelings or general instincts as to what one of your past lives were, I want you to just kind of tap into that frequency real quick and put your mind in that state and focus on your pile. All of my cards are pre-shuffled and ready to go, so if a pile is calling out to you, it is probably meant to be. All right, and we're gonna tap right back in with pile number 1. Hey, my pile number 1s, thank you so much for joining me here today. If you are returning, welcome back, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. It'd mean a lot if you guys wanted to join the family. But without further ado, if you chose this cool crystal that I don't know the name of, I apologize. Let's get right into it. Okay, so if you guys may or may not know, but I like to start with the original tarot first here on this channel. So we'll look at the tarot cards, and then I like to use the oracle cards to kind of supplement the reading. So let's look at them. We have the moon. We have the 7 of Pentacles. We have the 5 of Swords. We have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. Wow, guys. Okay. So to start right off, I'm feeling that in this past life that you guys are tuning into, or I'm tuning into for you guys used your intuition a lot. Like with the moon card coming up, like right away, I'm feeling like you guys really learned how to develop most of your psychic abilities and gifts like in this lifetime. You might have worked through a lot of karma in this past life and just a lot of shadow work in general, where you learned like a lot of lessons, and you also might have had like a strong link to like the sky and like astrology, or just outer space in general. You might have even like been involved in a culture where like it was very much astrologically based, where you watched the sky, you followed the sky. You guys today, like in this lifetime, might find yourself really attracted to the metaphysical and astrology and even like astronomy. Like you guys might be into outer space in general. So that's what I'm feeling with you guys here with the moon. I'm also feeling like with the Five of Swords, you guys also were able to easily kind of read the intentions of other people in your life. So you might have found it that in this lifetime it's actually easier for you to determine if someone's being truthful to you, or like what their intentions are, or if they're going to be honest and, you know, pure towards you. So I'm feeling like that's something you definitely acquired in this past life that I'm picking up on. I'm also feeling like with the Seven of Pentacles, you guys were probably financially well off, because I'm also seeing the Nine of Pentacles here. I'm feeling like you guys might have had to work very hard in this lifetime. Like I'm feeling like you might not have been, I said like some of you might have been financially well off, but I'm also getting a message that you might not have been, which is like very contradicting, I know, but I'm actually feeling like, yeah, actually that you guys had to like work hard for what you had. I'm feeling like you guys, a lot of you have a good work ethic because of this lifetime, because the Seven of Pentacles kind of talks about investments to me, like the way that I read it, and just kind of waiting and being patient and watching for things to kind of grow and move. And I'm feeling like you guys were also very nurturing in a sense, like that you like to take care of the people closest to you in your like inner circle. Like yes, your family, but I'm feeling like even your friends and in your romantic relationships, that you guys like took care of other people, you nurtured things, like you didn't give up easily on other people, because you just have like that hard working ethic and you're just very motivated to kind of want to nurture things and watch them grow. I'm also getting off of this card, this is like very literal, but some of you might have been involved with gardening or plants, because you kind of, in this like traditional artwork, you can see kind of the foliage like here with the Seven of Pentacles. But also like the Queen of Wands here, I keep looking at like the sunflower she's holding. And also in the Nine of Pentacles, you can see there's kind of like a garden behind her or him. So them, behind them. So I'm feeling like, yeah, you guys might have been involved agriculturally or like even medicinally. So yeah, that's what I'm getting from that. Feeling like with the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands, you guys might have been a fire sign or are a fire sign in this lifetime. We also have some swords energy here. So we have air energy. We also have the earth energy. We have about everything here, but a lot of wands energy for the most part. We have 3 wands cards, 2 swords. So yeah, everything's like kind of here, like with the moon card, because the moon always makes me think of water. But yeah, you guys might be a fire sign watching this, or you might have been a fire sign in a past life, or just been very fiery and charismatic in nature. I'm feeling like you guys might have even been like business owners, or you might have owned like a lot of property, or just like been kind of in control, like had some kind of position of power in the past life. I'm also feeling like you guys were kind of fearless, like if you were faced with adversity, you could easily just like, you would know how to deal with it, and you would know how to just like plow through it. That's why I'm feeling like some of you might have even been like farmers or involved agriculturally, but you like had that status like in your society to be able to be like, yeah, like I own this, like I own this property, or like I own this business. I'm also feeling like a lot of you are very creative in this lifetime, like you might have carried that over from this past life, or that you would do well in a position of power. And just like, because the Queen of Wands, like her energy has like kind of that edge of authority, like the way that I read it and how the energy is coming off here. So I'm feeling that authoritative, you know, like powerful, creative, innovative, like I'm not going to take no for an answer type energy. Some of you might have even been females in a past life and actually like were kind of groundbreaking for your time. Like you guys were leaders, so like you would kind of like, you know, take the initiative and be like, no, like if you were located in a place on earth where women didn't have power at the time, especially like in America, like American history. Like, I feel like you guys never had that mentality. Like, you were always kind of rebellious like that. So, but you could be masculine or feminine. I mean, we do have the Knight of Wands here. There aren't really gender in tarot, but that was just kind of a message that came through, which will only make sense for some of you guys. Maybe some of you guys are involved in like feminist movements today, and that would kind of reflect on like this past life. But yeah, very forward and momentous. Like, I'm feeling like you guys were never not busy. Like, even if you worked for like a family business, or just like you were always busy, always had like new ideas, always like doing something like to try to better yourself. Like, I'm almost getting like you guys were like exhausted a lot of the time because you were always just like busy. But yeah, I'm also feeling like with the Eight of Wands here, and even the Ace of Swords, like you guys might have a real knack for like communication or like writing or just the media these days. Like, I feel like you guys, that's one of your gifts from like a past life. You guys might have even been a public speaker in like a past life, or been able to really kind of express your ideas. Like I was saying with this energy, like you guys were able to express that and clearly articulate your thoughts to other people. You might have even influenced other people. Yeah, definitely. Like, you guys are like the group of like influencing and like leadership, like 100%. So yeah, I'm feeling like you guys are very good at communicating. You might have been involved with some kind of organization or like maybe even job that involved like messaging at some point. But even with the Eight of Wands, like I'm feeling like you guys were never sitting still. Like, you guys are always doing something. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting. And with the Ace of Swords here, like you guys are very good. Like, I feel like in this lifetime you might be very good at establishing boundaries as well. If you're able to, you know, clearly articulate how you're feeling or what you're thinking. Like, you have no problem cutting up people off or just like having the inner knowing. Like, yeah, with the Moon card here, feeling like the intuition piece also gave you guys like a really great sense of inner clarity. Like, you always kind of knew how you felt in a way. Like, you were able to use your emotions to form like logical thought. And I'm feeling that this also probably carried over in a past life for you guys. But let's peek at your oracle cards. Okay, so you guys have Balancing Act. And that number is 11 up there. You guys have Sad Embrace. You guys have Listening. And Sad Embrace, the number is 45 if you can't tell. But Listening, and this is number 53. So some of you might have been musically inclined. And also with the Eight of Wands, what I was saying with communication and media, that might have been a way for you to communicate. Some of you are actually songwriters or poets or musicians in this time, okay? Or just like very good at listening to other people and being able to communicate. So that's definitely one of your guys' gifts, like 100%. Like, in this lifetime, like, you carry that because it just keeps coming up. You guys got Flower Spirit, number 10. So we have 10 and 11. You guys have the Initiation, Rite of Passage, Crossing the Threshold. Wow. And then you guys got Retreat from the Romance Angels. It's time to disconnect from the world. So starting off on this guy, I'm almost feeling like in this past life that I'm picking up on for group number 1, I'm feeling that you might not have been too focused on relationships, because I wasn't getting like a strong sense of that from your tarot. Obviously, this is a more general reading, but not many like romantic, like familial energies came through. So I'm feeling like you guys really did have a knack for like disconnecting from the world and just kind of like sticking to yourself, especially with the Nine of Pentacles here. It's like it did come up in reverse, so it might be that in this lifetime it's harder for you to like want to be single, or like you might have kind of like a fear of being alone for some of you. which being alone is awesome, guys. So, like, don't feel like you have to be in a relationship or anything like that ever, because you guys are amazing on your own. But I'm feeling like you guys almost have an emphasis maybe on this lifetime to, like, want to be in a relationship or, like, crave interaction and just, like, connection like that. Because, like, in this lifetime that I'm picking up on, it wasn't, like, a priority, or maybe, like, in your family, like, you were so, like, focused on working hard and maybe trying to, like, provide for the people around you that it wasn't that big of an emphasis. Some of you might carry that into this lifetime where you're like, no, forget, like, romance. Like, I want to chase my dreams and my goals. Like, screw that. Like, some of you might not be, like, very romantic like that. We have sad embrace and we have the initiation, and this, like, is a very stormy scene, and it's almost like a threshold. It even says, like, crossing the threshold. I'm feeling like for some of you guys, you actually had a rough time passing, or you might have had a lot of loss, like, in your life, which is, like, really sad. But I'm feeling like you might have, like, even lost the person you were with, which is, like, terrible. But, like, I don't know if I would go that far. I'm feeling just like you guys might have had a hard time when it was your time to, like, pass. I don't know, like, the most appropriate and, like, kind way to say that is. But I'm feeling like with sad embrace and the initiation, yeah, like, it might have been hard when that moment came to you, or you guys, like, might have experienced the loss in your family. I'm also feeling like you might not have, like, you might have been such, like, hard workers and, like, such, like, so busy and so, like, focused, like, goal-oriented, that, like, you might have had moments where, like, your soul was kind of sad just because you might not have felt like you got to fulfill everything in this lifetime. So the lifetime that you guys are in right now, it might feel like there's always, like, a rush to get things done. Like, you might feel like you're on, like, a time kind of limit, I guess. I don't know how to say that, but I'm also feeling like this lifetime, we also have, like, snakes here. I'm feeling like you guys had a lot of challenging times, like I said, with, like, there might be, like, deception or something along those lines. But I'm feeling like, yeah, you guys might have had a tougher time with, like, relationships and being able to, like, I don't want to say gauge the people around you, because with the intuition and everything, I feel like you guys were quite good at that. With the Ace of Swords, you might have been good at telling people off, like I said. But yeah, you guys, like, got your fair lesson in this lifetime with just, like, dealing with people who weren't meant for you or right from you, and that might have been why you kind of retreated to kind of doing your own thing. With balancing act, yeah, I'm feeling like this has to do with your finances and kind of your overall, like, wealth. Like, I'm feeling that in this lifetime, you guys were constantly trying to, like, provide, whether that was, like, for the family you were born into, or if you guys, I'm sure some, if not most of you, were married. I'm feeling that maybe, like, you just felt like you were constantly trying to balance, like, your inhibitions and, like, what you wanted to accomplish, like, your goals and your dreams, like, because of this fiery energy. Like, I'm feeling like you always, like, wanted more for yourself, or, like, you always, like, wanted to create and come up with, like, these amazing ideas and these amazing, like, goals or whatever have you. So I'm feeling that because you guys had a really strong work ethic and you were very involved in just, like, working and, like, establishing, like, that grounded financial stability, that, like, you guys had a hard time kind of balancing that, like, the work and play aspect, okay? And with Flower Spirit, I'm feeling like a lot of you, like, with this fiery energy, I love that this card came through, because it's just very, like, a very freeing energy. Like, you can't tie me down. Like, I'm not going to take no for an answer, like, that kind of energy. And I'm also, with the flower, obviously, I mentioned something with agriculture. You guys might really, like, love flowers. in this lifetime, which is like kind of silly, but that was a message that came through. But yeah, you might have just really appreciated nature and kind of feeling connected with it, because we do have a lot of earthy energies here, and that might have been kind of your retreat, like from the outside world, like your literal retreat. And I love that they're kind of like walking through nature here, because I'm feeling like you guys might have really felt free and empowered out in nature, and all this fire energy was able to kind of be more grounded because of it. And you guys might find that today as well, like in this lifetime. But yeah, that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It means so much to me. But comment down below. Let me know what was interesting about this. If any of it resonated with you, if you liked this, if it was interesting. I want to do more videos like this for you guys. So let me know. But without further ado, I will see you guys next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys. Hi guys, welcome back. This is Lunar Goddess Readings. If you are new here, welcome. This is Lunar Goddess Readings, like I just said, and it would be awesome if you guys wanted to join the family. But, okay, if you guys chose pile number 2, this is Carnelian, okay? This is your past life reading. So I hope you guys are ready to buckle up and take this ride through your past life. That was kind of lame, but like I want you guys to be excited, so. Okay, we are going to be looking at your original tarot. If you know a thing or two about this channel already, you know that I like to start with the tarot and then incorporate the oracle cards. Okay, group number 2. Who were you in a past life? Okay, we have the 8 of Pentacles. We have the 7 of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the 7 of Swords, the 5 of Cups, the 2 of Swords, the Death card, and the Empress. Right off the bat, guys, with the Empress here, I'm feeling like you guys kind of embodied that, like, powerful, like assertive, like just gorgeous, like cool energy, and like this whatever past life we're tuning into, because for some of you it won't be your most recent, but some of these messages will hopefully resonate with you. But I'm feeling that you guys just like really had this aura about you guys where like anybody who was in your presence like were immediately attracted to you guys. And you might kind of like see that in this lifetime, like people just gravitate towards you. I'm not saying that you were like full of yourself or anything in this past life, but I'm like saying that you guys just knew how to like handle yourself and how to present yourself, and like you could like really feel yourself, or like you were always just in a powerful mindset. Like you were very intelligent, like people wanted to talk to you, they wanted to converse with you, and you're just like in this energy where like you kind of like always felt like you had the answers, or people just like wish you did to like fill up to their like expectations. That's the kind of energy I'm getting here. You guys also might have been mothers in a past life, or just like family oriented. I'm feeling like a very strong feminine energy, especially with the Queen of Cups here, that you guys are very loving and nurturing in this past life. And I'm feeling that like even if you were a man in this past life, that you were like very family oriented, okay? You might have been living in a time period where there was like a heavy and like strong importance on family, and just like having family and community meant everything to you guys, and you guys just like really worshipped your family and you just really loved them, okay? I'm also picking up that you guys might have been like kind of constantly learning and evolving. Like I'm feeling like no matter what your occupation, like some of you were kind of workaholics in this lifetime, but I'm feeling more like you guys were just like always learning, like always perfecting your craft. Like you guys had like those side hobbies where you like wanted to always maybe make it like your full career, or you would do it kind of on as like a side hustle type thing, but you guys like always wanted to learn. Like I'm picturing like a Greek philosopher almost, like, you know, always interested in things, always like questioning how the world works, how, you know, what is our relationship to like spirituality and like us as like human or man. Like I'm feeling like you guys are always like asking questions, and you were like very intelligent. I'm sure you guys are intelligent in this lifetime as well, but yeah, let me know down in the comments like if you guys always feel like you always are learning something new, or like constantly reading, or just like perfecting what makes you happy. Like if you're an artist, like spending time outside of your day, like, you know, you might have a regular job or whatever, but I'm feeling like you guys never let like your side thing or your side interest die. Like you had many interests and you were a very hard worker. Okay, you also might have been like one of the best people like to go to, like say that you were a horseshoer, no, like a blacksmith, that's what it is, a horseshoer. If you were a blacksmith, you like made the best dang horseshoes around town, or the best like armor around town, okay, like that's like you guys, like people like knew you were the best, they wanted to approach you guys, and you guys just like never stopped like refining your skill. Okay, I'm feeling like there was a lot of karma in this past life. Like you guys might have went through a lot of transformations, a lot of spiritual growth. It might have been kind of bleak for you at times. Like it might have felt like there was like loss in your life, or like you didn't understand like why things were the way they were, if that makes sense. Like almost like that feeling of like, this isn't fair, like why is this happening to me? Or you might have felt like you faced a lot of misfortunes in this life. Like I'm feeling like you guys still maintain that happiness, and like I feel like you guys, most of you were close with your family or like your children, if you were like mothers, but I'm feeling like you guys kind of had that feeling, or like at an early age you might have lost a lot, and that kind of like set the tone for your life. Like you were constantly seeking the answers and kind of trying to expand your mind, and you just wanted to understand the way things worked. And I feel like that's what brought you guys kind of closer to spirituality as well, that like you guys wanted to understand like why do people suffer. Like a lot of you might have been philosophers, to be honest, and I'm feeling like because of like this energy, you guys might have had a hard time kind of being open and like wanting to let people into your life. You guys, some of you might have even been like fighters. You might have been in war. Like I'm feeling like for some of you, if you feel like you have like a link to like the military or like war, or maybe you're in the military, or you were drawn to be in the military for some reason, I'm feeling that like for some of you, you like went through a lot of loss, or you might have experienced loss in the war. You might have even been a mother and like your husband had to go to war. And I'm feeling like this just kind of made you more defensive towards certain things, like not like bitter, but I'm feeling like you guys might have felt a little bit taken advantage of in this lifetime. Like you had like all this freedom like in your mind. That could also be it. Like you guys had all this freedom in your mind, and that's why you really invested time in the things that you loved. And so like in order to kind of keep your personal power and feeling like this Empress energy, that you guys like would kind of like escape into your own world, and not in a bad way, not like Pisces escape, sorry Pisces, I love you, but just like you liked to like take that time. You understood what was important to you and what would kind of keep you sane when things were going bad and you were feeling like lost or like hurt, or just like experiencing those tough times in life. But I'm feeling like, yeah, with the Seven of Wands, the Seven of Swords energy, yeah, I just feel like you guys might have felt kind of taken advantage of at times, and like maybe that's what made you defensive, like what made you kind of throw up your guards. A lot of you were very sensitive and emotional in this lifetime. You might be in this current lifetime as well. You might be a water sign too, but like this like dreamy nature about you, like this nature where everybody like wants a piece of it. I'm feeling like you almost had to learn how to be defensive against like people who are just taking advantage of you or like feeding off of you, or you know, taking your kindness as weakness. So that was like another lesson that I feel like you guys had to learn in this lifetime. As far as like location for you guys, I didn't really do this for pile number 1. We have a little bit of everything. Let's look at the oracle cards as well too. You guys could have lived by water. You could have lived by water, definitely. Most of you probably did live on the water or by the water, or just had like a lot of water in your charts. In this lifetime, you might, which would reflect from your past life. I switched to these. But yeah, with the defensive energy, I feel like almost you wanted to be liked by so many people and you wanted to always be a good person. So I feel like some of the confusion comes from here. Like you felt like you had to kind of put up these defenses because like it was confusing to you that like if you were kind to people and if you were nurturing and loving to people and people liked you for the most part, that like why would they treat me a certain way or why would they treat me badly? So I feel like that was kind of the confusion for you guys, like, and why you kind of felt like you had to have your defenses up or your guards up. But let's look at your oracle cards. Okay, we have movement. So some of you might not have stayed in the same place. You guys might have traveled. Or if you were in the military, like I mentioned, for some of you, yeah, you might have traveled a lot. Or you might have even been part of a society or community that allowed you to kind of travel, like almost like nomadic, but not like literally, unless like your last life was like in the Paleolithic, like Neolithic area. But yeah, I feel like you guys you moved around a lot, perhaps. Unexpected visitors. Yeah, you guys, because you were so like loving and nurturing, I could even see you guys being like foster care or being involved in like foster care. Like you would take people into your home. You would like look out for like the neighborhood kids. Like you would maybe even house people. If this was during war, you might have like housed people like to safety. Okay, so like I'm feeling like you guys always kind of left that door open, and that might have kind of left you more vulnerable in a sense, where you felt like you had to be more defensive. Like for some of you, like you were like, yes, like I want to help as many people as I can. So like that energy, like the unexpected visitors, like the unexpected energy is kind of telling me that like you had to take chances. You know what I mean? Like you had to trust like your intuition and like your general sense about a person, especially if you were like housing people during war or some kind of like catastrophic event. You guys like had to look out for like their intentions and whether or not it was safe to maybe even let them in your home. We have compass. So yeah, you guys totally like had something with traveling, like movement, compass, even unexpected visitors. Like you guys were moving around. You guys might have also changed your direction in life a lot, just because like what I was saying with the 8 of Pentacles and how you guys really like took the time to do what you loved. Like I feel like you might have changed up what you did. Like you might have done like odds and end jobs a lot of the time just to like to make ends meet, but make sure you were still happy. Okay, we have keep an open mind from the relationship or the romance angels cards. So your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So yeah, maybe you guys did kind of have like stress on your marriage or your relationship in a way that might have been some of the loss and the sadness that you experienced. It also, if your partner did like, you know, have to go overseas or you had to move around a lot depending on like what time period this was, I'm feeling like you constantly had to be okay with like changing and going with the flow and just kind of like taking things as it goes, like movement, like being mutable, being easily able to adapt. Like, that's something you also might carry into this life as well. The Great Gathering, it's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul tribe. So yeah, guys, like what I was saying, like you guys are very family and community oriented, okay? Like you guys would allow people into your houses. Like you constantly had the door open, like you wanted to help people. Like you might have even volunteered a lot. Like you might have, if this was during like some kind of historical period where like a war was going on, depending on where you lived, you guys might have like kind of volunteered like in your efforts. You guys might have seen a lot of darkness and sadness because of this. Like if you were like, say like a volunteer nurse, or like you were part of the war efforts, or like propaganda or anything like that, depending on where obviously your last or this past life that I'm referring to was, yeah, you were very community oriented, okay? And people looked to you to be kind of a leader in these groups as well. And then for the last card, we have Stranded. And there's also like a little anchor here. So like what I said about the water, like how you guys might have had a lot of water in your charts, or like you might have lived by water. Some of you might have been in the Navy, or like maybe you like moved a lot on a boat. Like if you were by the water, you did live by the water, that might have been your source of like movement. But I'm also feeling like you guys might have felt stuck sometimes, like not literally, but like kind of stuck in a place that where I said that you guys always try to take care to, you know, paying attention to what makes you like happy. I'm feeling that with the Stranded card here that you might have actually kind of felt like at times you couldn't move forward, or you couldn't like, you get in like kind of ruts where you were like less inspired and stuff. And because this was like so important to you, I'm feeling that some of you would just kind of get that feeling of like procrastination and like couldn't really go after what you wanted to do in your life. It might have been because you were so family oriented that you couldn't unfortunately put enough time into like your learning or like refining your skills. And I'm feeling like you might have at a young age kind of felt that maybe you didn't have a lot of choice as to like how your life would go, or like some of it might have felt decided for you, or like you just kind of stuck. But that's what I got for you guys. This is a pretty cool past life. I hope some of this stuff resonated to you, or maybe even like reminded you of like past life memories. And if it did, like please comment down below, let me know if this like triggered any memories, or if you like think on it and like realize something about yourself from this reading. That would mean the world to me if you wanted to share that with me. But yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye guys. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. This is Lunar Goddess Readings, and if you chose pile number 3 or group 3 with this pretty little thing as a crystal, I don't know the name of it, so please help me if you know it, then let's tune right into it, okay? If you know anything about this channel, I do like, why is it split like that? I do like to start with my original tarot. That was weird. It was like cut, whatever. So let's look at the original tarot, and then I like to use the oracle cards to kind of supplement the reading. So let's see what you got. You have the 4 of Cups. You have the 3 of Wands. Might have been traveling a lot. Okay, we have the King of Cups. The 6 of Swords in reverse. The 3 of Cups. I can't get this to go straight, and it's like driving me nuts, guys. Okay. The Knight of Swords. The Hermit. Yeah, none of these are straight. Okay. And the Ace of Wands. Alright, guys. What was your past life like? Pile number 3. Or whatever past life we're picking up on. It doesn't have to be the most recent, but I hope you guys get some messages. I'm feeling like to start with this Four of Cups energy, you guys are kind of stubborn. I'm feeling like you were very strong-minded, very strong-willed. You might have also been a water sign, like random side note, because I'm looking at the Cups energy here. We have everything here, though, so you could be pretty much anything. But I'm feeling that, yeah, you guys didn't like to really take advice of others. You probably like to give advice, especially with the King of Cups here. Like, I'm feeling like you like to build people up and kind of make them feel good. And you were good at giving advice, but you were not good at taking it in a past life. And I'm feeling like this made you very strong-willed in a sense. Like, you had to kind of find your own way in life. Like, you didn't want somebody to like hand things to you, or like maybe people wouldn't hand things to you. So if you even came from like a wealthy family or something, that they like were like, no, like you have to earn your keep, you know what I mean? Like, you have to earn what you have, and it instilled very good values in you guys. And you kind of had to find your own way. Like, you had to kind of go through life with the sense of like trying to figure it out on your own in a way too. Not saying that you didn't have like a family or like support, but I'm saying like it was very independent feeling life, like this one I'm picking up on. But you guys did like to celebrate a lot. Like, you were very social in this lifetime. You might have been, if your past life was in America. I keep referencing America, even though most of you are not Americans watching this. But like, even like no matter what, like even if you were in ancient Greece, like you guys like to like celebrate and party and kind of gather socially. Like, you like to go around your friends. Like, this was like kind of your leisure activity. Like, you guys like to indulge in the finer things, and you guys like to have fun. Like, you're very adventurous. Might have traveled a lot as well with the Three of Wands up here. Like, I'm feeling like you guys might have kind of moved around. What I was saying with the Four of Cups here is you might have kind of went at your own pace and kind of figured things out for yourself. So that might have included traveling. Like, some of you might have had that more like nomadic, like hippie lifestyle where you're just like, oh, I'm gonna hit the road and kind of see where it takes me. Like, you guys have a very free spirit energy about you guys. Like, you just like, you wanted to do things kind of your way. Like, you didn't like, you wanted to explore and you wanted to expand your mind in a way that worked for you. Okay, and you might kind of notice that in this life as well. And with the King of Cups here, I'm feeling that, yeah, you guys are very, like I said, nurturing with the people like around you, like, and you really enjoyed social interaction. And like the King of Cups can be kind of indulgent as well, so you guys might have, like I said, enjoyed like the finer things in life. You might have actually had money if, like, with just like this energy that I'm picking up with the King of Cups. I'm feeling like you were also quite romantic in a past life. Like, you might have had a lot of different lovers, so you might have kind of, you know, been able to date around and kind of you might have fallen in love a lot in a past life, okay? For the most part, I'm saying that you guys are pretty good at communicating, or like you might have had like a sharper tongue, like you couldn't hold it. Like I said with the stubbornness, you might like be able to be like, hey, I don't like what you said there, or like you might have been kind of confrontational at times. Like, I'm almost seeing like something play out in my head where you guys might have almost like been in these social gatherings, maybe drinking too much, had too much fun, and you guys might have fought a lot. Like, you might have fought. Some of you might have been in the military. Pile number 2 also had a reference to the military, but something to do with like actually fighting. Like, you guys might have been called to war, or called to travel to kind of fight for something. Or you might have found yourself just fighting for your relationships or people in your life a lot. But like I said, with that like kind of nomadic, like stubborn, like very independent lifestyle with our Hermit here, yeah, I'm feeling that you guys reflected a lot in this lifetime. Like, you're very intelligent, even like scholarly, and I feel like part of your life mission in this specific lifetime was to uncover what kind of who you truly were at like a core. Like, Pile number 2 was more like, oh, I want to learn about the world and I kind of want to be like really good at a lot of things. I want to like explore. You guys are more like, I want to like understand myself to the fullest extent. This doesn't make you guys selfish like at all, but it makes you more self-aware. And in this lifetime, I feel like you guys are better suited to take things on independently and kind of do things your own way, like go off the beaten trail, explore. And like you guys had no issue doing it alone. Like some of you guys may have been like family people and had like children and were married, etc., but I feel like for the vast majority of you guys, you kind of were kicking it alone. Like you wanted to be alone. Like you wanted that independence and that ability to just like really understand the true self. Like even like some of you might have been like Buddhists or like really into religion, or like just very in tune to uncovering like the truth and understanding yourself and having a lot of self-control as well. Like even though you guys are probably like strong-willed or strong-headed, or could be at times, like I'm feeling that you guys also wanted to understand compassion at like the deepest level with like the King of Cups here. Like you guys wanted to understand human interaction and love and like how that manifests. I'm not feeling that so much like you guys were like very like overly obsessed with like love or romance, but it's like you want to fall in love with yourself, and you also wanted to understand like why humans were the way they were, if that makes any sense. Yeah, okay. But yeah, with the 6 of Swords, yeah, I feel like with this lifestyle that you guys kind of had, you didn't really stay around often. Like that might have been why I'm not feeling like you guys had like a very serious relationship or like a very strong sense of family life. Excuse me, I just had a hiccup. But like, yeah, I feel like you guys were kind of detached in a sense. Like you didn't get too close to people because you were constantly kind of moving around and doing your own thing, so like you could never really form really strong connections. Now you might have like known a lot of people from a lot of different places from just traveling around and exploring, but it never got past like a friendship level. Like it was kind of just like, you know, I'm more comfortable alone and I'm kind of more comfortable doing my own thing. This could also indicate if you guys have like a weird feeling you were in the military, and maybe you were in the military in the past life, like that you were traveling around a lot for that. Might have went overseas as well. But yeah, you guys were just very motivated, and you were constantly wanted to start new things. Like you constantly were inspired by like the world around you, and you wanted to like learn about that. I'm feeling that like with the Ace of Wands here, I don't know why, but this might have either been your guys' first lifetime, like on Earth, or this could have been like one of your more recent ones or your most recent ones with one lifetime away, like apart from the one you're in now. Like that's the message I'm kind of getting as well there. But let's take a look at your oracle cards. Coming to life. We got flying, peaks of joy, a long way home. Yeah, you guys are definitely traveling. Birthing a new age, birthing new creation, streaming a new world into being. And then you guys from the romance angels got deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Yeah, and that might have been you guys, not so much that you were deceiving, but you might have kind of like liked having like a fun time and stuff and like meeting new people and stuff, but you never really wanted to kind of settle down. You guys got a long way home and flying, which both of these are travel cards for me. Like you have 3 travel cards. Like you guys did not stay in one place. You were constantly moving around, like whether that was like occupational or you just wanted to. And I'm feeling like for the majority of you guys, you wanted to like move around and kind of pop around the world and like explore and see things. You might have been adventurers or like explorers where like you were actually sent across seas to like discover new lands. But yeah, you guys like felt the best when you were traveling and discovering new things. And a lot of times it could have felt like you didn't have a very deep sense of home because you were constantly moving around, so you didn't really have home base. But I feel like for most of you guys, you were like okay with this. And coming to life, this makes me almost feel like it was your guys' first past life or something along those lines, or this was the lifetime that made you guys feel most inspired and maybe influenced you guys to make you more like the way you are today in this lifetime. Okay, and I'm also feeling like you also like were a very vivacious person. Like you had those periods of introspection and like shyness and kind of being a loner. But, like, I'm feeling like you guys also like to celebrate. Like, you like to party. You like to let loose. You like to have fun. Okay, so, like, even, like, overindulging, like, in a sense. But this woman, she's, like, dancing. And, like, it's so energetic and fun. And I'm getting, like, a similar energy off of this. So I feel like you guys, like, knew how to just celebrate and let loose. And really just enjoy, like, the small things in life, which is nice. Yeah, and we have peaks of joy as well. So yeah, you guys knew how to like separate from that introspection and deep reflection, and even like some of you, if you were scholarly or like constantly studying or like maybe tuning into religion or etc. Like I'm feeling like you guys just knew either like you guys traveling and moving around or this way of life for you guys was like what made you happy and what really made you tick. I'm feeling like I just got a message that some of you might have like an interesting ninth house, which rules like traveling and like education. Like you guys might have like a strong ninth house. But anyways, yeah, you guys knew what made you happy, and like in a way, not that you were self-centered or selfish like I said before, but you like looked out for your best interests, like your own best interests, like you knew what made you happy, so you followed that, and that's like beautiful. But with birthing a new age, I'm also getting another like message where I am feeling like this was like either one of your most transformative lifetimes like to date, or like this was your first one, or like somehow like this one, like I said, had the most impact on the lifetime you're in now. I'm also feeling like spiritually you made a lot of groundwork in this one because you were so kind of concentrated on understanding yourself and understanding why people are the way they were, like almost like in a social psychology sense, if that makes sense, like just really understanding, trying to understand like, hey, why are people like this? Like, why do people treat people like this? And you spent a lot of time, like, kind of around people, like, when you wanted to. So, like, I feel like partly you could have been even studying, like, relationships between people. But you were never, like, totally invested in a lot of relationships. Like, like I said, I'm sure some of you were married or, like, had families. But at the core, like, you were a very independent person. But that's what I got for you guys, pile number 3. I really hope that you enjoyed this one. If any of this resonates or you got any messages that really struck you, I would love to hear your opinions and thoughts down in the comment section. I love reading your comments. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It would mean the world to me. If you're not already subscribed, join the family. We're going to be uploading a lot more. We have some exciting things coming this week as well. But yeah, okay. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a beautiful day. Bye, guys. Hey guys, what's up? What's up? Welcome back. Last but not least, my pile number 4s. I hope you guys are ready to uncover one of your past lives. I hope you're as excited as I am. But, I mean, maybe not, but it's okay. Okay, so if you chose the Tiger's Eye, you guys are in the right place. If you guys know anything about my channel and the way we roll over here at Lunar Goddess Readings, we like to start with the Oracle cards first, and we like to use the... I'm sorry, guys, I'm going nuts. Okay, we like to use the Tarot first, and we like to use the Oracle to supplement the tarot. So set those guys aside and look at what you got. What was your past life like? Pile number 4. We have the Ace of Cups, the Fool in reverse, the Queen of Swords. Oh my gosh, I just want it to be straight. Okay. We have the Star. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Hanged Man, and we have the Sun. And you guys should have one more tarot card, but I guess you do not. Let me pull one more for you guys. You guys won't be able to see me shuffle. It's kind of off camera for space reasons, but can I have one more card for pile number 4, please? It might have been a reason why, but I pre-shuffle. Oop, we got one. Okay. We have the Knight of Cups. Cool. All right, my pile number 4s. So to start off, I'm feeling like you guys are the only pile where like love was a big emphasis on your life, like family, romance, relationships, just connections in general. Okay, like relationships were just a big emphasis on your life. Like you had a lot of love to give. You might have been a water sign. You might be a water sign in this lifetime, but you were just very empathetic, probably very intuitive. We also have the Star card here, and I'm feeling like you guys gained a lot of spiritual insight and probably a lot of psychic ability in this lifetime. Like you guys just really enjoyed interactions, and like you guys were, like I said, very empathetic, and you were able to tune into other people's feelings and thoughts, and you were able to like express yourself very well, especially romantically with the Knight of Cups here and the Queen of Swords. Like you guys kind of had that ability to communicate pretty directly if need be, and you had a good grasp on your feelings and emotions in this lifetime, so you're able to kind of express that to other people. So yeah, your relationships are a big emphasis in your life. I'm feeling like you guys could have even married kind of young with the Page of Pentacles here, or like you were a young soul in this lifetime. Like I'm getting like, I don't know, like very youthful vibes off of you guys. Maybe you're like young watching this, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm feeling like you guys might have been involved or gotten married early on in life, and like you guys kind of, you might have even been kind of unsure about commitment, but you guys had so much love to give that like it worked out for you guys, because you guys have like a lot of positivity in this reading. Like it's pretty light. I also feel like you guys could be a little bit of like entrepreneurs, or like you guys were always trying to find work, or like I'm not necessarily feeling wealth from like this these cards like off of most of you. Like I'm feeling like you guys were more down to earth, like willing to kind of like explore, do new things. Like we have the Fool in reverse, and I'm feeling like you guys just kind of like maintained this youthful energy throughout this lifetime, and you guys are willing to kind of take leaps of faith, especially towards like your connections and you know, the people around you. Like you might have always just like felt like, yeah, I'll go with the flow, like very like intuitively based, you know, like you could feel if something was like right for you, and you were just like, you know, you'd like mosey along and be like, yeah, this feels good to me, I'm gonna try to do this. So you guys might never have been like really great at one thing. Like you might have just kind of done, I don't want to say the bare minimum, but like I don't feel like work was like a huge thing in this lifetime for you guys. With the Sun card here, I don't usually get these messages, like some readers do, but like I don't always. But yeah, like you guys were very family oriented. You might have had a child like at a young age, or like you might have had like a lot of young people within your family, and you might have been like a bit of a caregiver. Like I'm feeling like a lot of you could have looked after other people, or just like taking care of other people. You might have been in like even like the medical field or something like that. You guys might be in the medical field in this lifetime as well. But yeah, you guys just had like a lot of positivity and like happiness. And this lifetime was definitely, although you like learned a lot, like spiritually, like you guys went through those tough lessons, and you really like uncovered a lot of the truth from like the divine, and like your consciousness was raised from this life. Like your life was like relatively easy. Like from the surface, what I'm seeing is like very kind of easygoing. Like I don't feel like you guys were the most ambitious of the groups. Like with the Queen of Swords energy, like I feel like you were direct and you were intelligent, and you kind of knew what you wanted, but I'm feeling like you weren't like after anything. Like you felt that completeness within the people closest to you, and that might resonate for you now too. Like you might just be very family oriented, where like as long as you have like your family, or as long as like you have your relationship that and like your friends and community, like that might be enough for you guys, where that's what like makes you feel fulfilled. I'm not saying that you're not like super ambitious or like you don't have goals, but I'm just saying like that's like at your core like what you value. All right. I'm also feeling like if you were a mother, you could have had 2 sons or something like that. Or you might have 2 sons now that maybe like that you carried like over from this lifetime. Like that's an interesting message, but that's what I'm also feeling. With the Hangman and the Star, though, it really feels like you guys learn to look at life and just like the world in general from like a different perspective. Like I'm feeling like if some of you did like travel or just like take random opportunities, and I say random just because like if they would come up, you would take them. That's what like really helped you gain like your spiritual insight and really like raise your consciousness in this lifetime. All right. I'm also feeling like with the Knight of Cups here, you either were somebody who like might have fallen in love like at an early age, like I said here, like you might have married young, or like you like expressed your love to somebody at an early age, and you might have wanted to like protect them and start a family. But yeah, guys, let's take a look at your oracle cards. Okay, so you have Metamorphosis. You have Deep Freeze. You have Rescue. Moon Dance. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? And then from the Romance Angels, you have Romantic Feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So yeah, guys, like I said, you guys were very relationship based. The other piles actually didn't have like the most positive, like lovey-dovey romance angel cards. Like you guys are the pile that were in love and experienced love and had like a very strong emphasis on love. And just family in general. Like that might have been the time period you grew up in. Like it was very maybe like culturally like emphasized with like family and settling down and like really being involved in that kind of lifestyle. But I'm feeling like you guys just had so much love to give, like I said, and that you wanted to constantly express that, and you had somebody in your life who made you feel the same way. Like I'm feeling like even with the Ace of Cups, that you guys met one of your soulmates, or maybe even twin flames in this lifetime, and you might even have already met them in this lifetime again. But yeah, there's just like a lot of love for you guys. And I'm also feeling like with Don't Dim to Fit In, that you guys, yeah, you weren't concerned with like status or wealth or power. Like you guys really were concerned about what makes you happy, and like who around you in your inner circle makes you happy. Okay, like you didn't want to like, you wouldn't change for like anyone, you know what I mean? Like especially with the Queen of Swords energy, it was like you knew what you wanted, you knew who you were like at the core. Especially like through your spiritual shifts throughout this lifetime, you like realized what was truly important to you, and like nothing else really mattered in a sense. Like you didn't care if it like you respected if things mattered to other people, of course, but if you weren't okay with it, or if it didn't resonate with you, or just kind of like, you know, it's not for me, like that kind of wealth or like power or status, like I don't think that was like the name of the game for you guys in this past life. All right, and moon dance speaks of like kind of going after your personal goals and dreams and maybe like your hobbies and making them into like life, like taking that risk and really judging your intuition and following that. And it's really like you guys really looked at like the smaller things in life and what made you happy. Like you guys might have also been like artistic in a past life. Like I could see you guys also being like the artistic group who like might have not been that concerned with like wealth and status and power, and you could have just like did what you loved. Like you guys might have been like kind of more like Renaissance type like era where like you were artists or like something along those lines, like creators, and you guys were just interested in uplifting humanity and raising the consciousness of the world through like maybe your art or maybe even like singing, like song, because we have the Queen of Swords, and I always think of communication with swords or like airy signs. So yeah, you guys were really like, you just had like a solid past life where like you just like you went after like what your heart told you, which is like really beautiful, and I hope you guys carry some of that into this life as well. I'm feeling like with metamorphosis that you guys like might have changed a lot from like this life. Like I'm sure a lot of you are artistic or like, you know, that free spirit, like emphasis on like romance and love and stuff. Like I'm sure some of you carry that over, but I'm also feeling like this past life kind of changed you and changed your values a bit. In this lifetime like that you're in currently, you might feel like you have more of an emphasis on finances or more of a pressure or anxiety on finances, because I'm feeling like this kind of changed you a bit, like through karma and karmic lessons. Like now this might be your lifetime where you actually have to settle down and you have to work a lot, depending on if you know astrology, like your north and your south nodes. You might want to take a peek at those because those are probably important to you guys in this lifetime, and it might be very different than like your mission in this lifetime. But yeah, you guys were constantly able to just kind of evolve and change and grow into your best self. Like you were constantly like trying to flourish and enrich your lives, like whether that was through like art or beauty or romance. Like very Venus. You guys are like very Venus. I don't know why, but you guys just are. You're like the Renaissance, like artistic, like beautiful, like just like Venus. You guys might be really into like fashion or like decor or anything like that, like music, poetry. Like in this lifetime, this is like the group, like the dreamy, like watery, like yeah, that was you guys or that is you guys. With Deep Freeze, it feels almost like you guys did have like those hard times, like maybe like sometimes you did struggle financially because we had the Page of Pentacles in reverse after all, and I'm feeling that like with the Fool, you guys didn't take things too seriously. So a lot of the times you might have experienced hardships where like, you know, family and people around you, they were the ones who were actually uplifting you. So maybe that's why you guys became so focused on those things and you guys try to ignore like wealth and security. But now through like changes and karma, like you're probably realizing in this life that it's more important, or there is importance in like being financially stable and like providing for yourself and like being independent. But it might be kind of difficult for you guys in this lifetime to like want to grow up and like kind of like Peter Pan type vibes. I'm not saying you guys aren't mature or like responsible or like anything like that, but I'm saying that you guys might be so stuck in those like dreamy, like go with the flow, like energies that sometimes that like I'm feeling like you guys might be reliving some of those lessons where you're realizing you have to do the things that you don't want to do like in life, if that makes any sense. And you might kind of get down at times or like feel like you're stuck or like uninspired or like you don't know how to progress just because you know you were used to in this lifetime just kind of being able to go where the wind took you or like do what you wanted, you know, and just like love and like create essentially. And in this lifetime it just might be tougher for you guys to focus on that. But with rescue, I'm also feeling like with the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Cups, and even the Star, it's almost like you guys wanted to help other people. Like, you were also like humanitarians, so you would probably like try to help people like emotionally. Like, you might have even helped a lot of people become like enlightened in a way and think differently, especially if you were like an artist. I can see you guys like creating art that would like help save humanity and help like inspire humanity or like influence them in some way. And I feel like people would come to you to kind of help you, or for help from you. There we go. So yeah, you guys could have acted as kind of like rescuers, or like people might have even felt like they had to rescue you because they didn't think that you were being like responsible enough, or if you were doing the right thing, or like, you know, but it's like you just had that free spirit where like you didn't want to be told how not to be happy, you know what I mean? But that's what I have for you guys, pile number 4. I really hope that you enjoyed this little reading on your past life. Thank you so much for tuning in. If any of this resonated with you, I would love to read it down in the comments. But yeah, if you liked this, give it a thumbs up. And that's what I got for you guys, pile number 4. I will catch you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much. Bye.